What are the effects of a data breach on your business? A single data breach can devastate your business. The average cost of a data breach is £3.8 million or 4.8, almost $5 million. And 2/3 of businesses are attacked again within a year. The result is financial losses, damaged reputation, and even legal trouble. Here are 5 easy steps that you can take today to protect your business. Step 1, use strong passwords. This is key because a lot of breaches happen because of password dictionary attacks. A lot of people think if I have a weak password that, is my dog's name, or I myself have a unique name, the hackers aren't able to breach my account. But it's all automated now, so it's not something that is very hard to get past. So this is why the second step is to make sure you enable multi-factor authentication. So you might have it already on a lot of your personal accounts. They enforce it now, especially with Google Workspace tenants. But with Microsoft 365, it may not be enforced as part of your default settings. So make sure you enable multi-factor authentication. You don't have to do it on all your apps. You don't have to do it everywhere. Just focus on the most critical business apps. So this is your email platform, your financial platforms, your HR platforms, even like your CRM platform. Make sure that they have MFA. If they don't have MFA included, make sure you upgrade those plans to make sure you have the plan that includes MFA. Most platforms do have some sort of MFA, but it may not be on by default. So make sure this is by default. This protects you just in case someone bypasses your password that you've set. The third step is to train your team. So this makes sure that your team is able to detect if an approval comes through on their phone to make sure they don't just press approve. You can do additional things if you have like the Authenticator app. If you don't have it, make sure you have the Authenticator app deployed out to your team. Make sure that your team isn't relying on SMS because there are a lot of stop attacks happening lately where they'll clone your SIM and, well, they don't clone it, but they port your number to a different code comes through. So this is what happened with M&S, and you need to make sure that you move to something a bit more resistant, something like the Authenticator app, which can send a token or a number matching, which can make sure that you match the number that appears on your screen. This makes sure it just gives you that extra bit of step. Fourth thing is to keep software updated. This can be done through policy, mainly Intune, Google Workspace, Admin Center policies. So a lot of these hacks happen automatically. So this isn't, someone who's targeting your company specifically, unless you have any kind of national state secrets that you hold. Make sure the software is updated because a lot of breaches happen just because the software is not updated. If you have any cloud software, just make sure that you keep on top of the vendor updates. If you have anything sort of downloaded on the machine, make sure that you need some kind of really robust third-party patching. You can use Ninite, you can use Chocolatey, you can use any kind of software, but you just need to make sure that your team is on top of that. You need to make sure your IT team is on top of that because third-party patching is pretty difficult to do, as well as your actual operating system, making sure that your devices are updated, ideally within 14 days or 7 days for critical updates. Last thing is to back up your data. So if the password's been bypassed and your MFA isn't enabled and you haven't trained your team and just pressing through everything and the software is out of date and everything is just security holes everywhere, just make sure your data is backed up. So the key things to make sure it's backed up separately. So cloud services don't count as backup. So just because you can restore a version on your 365, OneDrive or SharePoint or your Google Drive, this doesn't count as backup. Your backup needs to be in a third-party location. This can either be offline or through a backup provider. The other thing to make sure is that those backups are immutable. So immutable means that the data within the backup cannot be edited. Their only sole purpose is to back up the data. So you need to make sure that you have that. And the third thing is you need to make sure that the data you back up is actually tested. So you need to make sure that the data itself, periodically, quarterly, annually, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you check your data. So these are small steps you should take. So you need to make sure that you don't do everything at once. Make sure that everything is done methodically and you cover from step 1 all the way to step 5. Just make sure that you don't react, you prevent. And after that point, you can go towards things like a business continuity plan, and you can start doing tests. You can make sure you run kind of simulations and stuff. But these are the key things at the start to make sure your business data is secure and you don't experience a breach.